I will say, castle or not, it's going to be hot and you're going to need that AC going because, oh boy, I mean, look at this right now as you're waking up. 5:16 is your current time, 77 in Temple, 78 in Waco, 80 degrees in Killeen, and 77 in Bryan. I'm watching a little bit of activity, most of which is staying well to the northeast of our viewing area. And that's going to be the case throughout much of the week. Next to no rain chances and next to no cloud cover. Notice on the satellite, you see next to nothing. Notice though, the winds are coming from the southwest. That's what's bringing in this slightly drier air into our region, but it's still going to be hot air. That's what that southerly flow typically does. Hot enough that as you're heading out the door, it's going to be about 78 degrees as you start off your Monday. Decently breezy out there as well. And as you're heading home, yeah, maybe make sure you have that sunshade on your car windshield because it's going to be about 102 by this afternoon. It's creepy how that kind of rhymes. 109 is what's going to be your heat index for Temple and Marlin by 4 o'clock this afternoon. 110 for Waco, 108 for Killeen, as well as Gatesville. We're talking about some very warm temperatures. Not as bad as what we saw last week, especially with the heat index, but we're still under heat advisory categories for those feels like temperatures. That's going to stay in effect until about 8 o'clock for this afternoon. More than likely, it will get extended, especially you want to make sure you're always staying weather aware in this kind of heat because you want to keep in mind when it's about 100 degrees outside, just 10 minutes in your car, you're up to 119. 30 minutes, you're up to 135. So you don't want to leave your pets or any people inside of a vehicle without leaving it running with the AC on because it can turn into quite the hot box. Tonight, all right, we're looking at mostly clear skies, decently breezy though. And when you think mostly clear skies, you think, okay, great. A lot of the heat can finally escape into space. Not so much the case this time around. It's because we have those very strong southerly winds, leaving us pretty breezy, but it's continuing to funnel in a lot of that warm, dry desert air. On the futurecast, you don't see a whole lot of activity. Again, that southerly flow is just going to maintain a lot of that heat with very minimal cloud cover and next to no storm chances at all throughout the next 48 hours and even throughout the next couple of days. Now, why is that? We saw the opposite last week. It's because we're under this ridge of high pressure. We're under basically a heat bubble, essentially. Any kind of weather that you're going to see is going to be all the way out to the west coast or all the way out to the east coast, while we're stuck right in the middle under this heat bubble. That's why ERCOT has the weather watch in effect throughout the entire week. It's going to be hot throughout the entire week. Exactly how hot, you ask? Well, here's your 7 days showing those triple-digit temperatures staying in effect throughout the entirety of the week, really until we go into the weekend. That's when we start to see the return of a little bit of cloud cover, and I see the chance for maybe some isolated showers and sprinkles, although it's a bit too far out to get very precise. Nonetheless, just expect plenty of sunshine and plenty of heat to last throughout the week.